so much. I love you so much. I love you so much. I love you so much.
Hello, all you positive heads out there. Thanks for tuning your beautiful brainwaves into another episode of the Positive Head Podcast, where we are firmly convinced that creating success and happiness is rooted in understanding the ultimate nature of reality and the fact that as human beings, we are all immensely powerful fractals of the one and only source consciousness, which creates and animates all things. Now, of course, understanding this powerful truth is one thing. Applying this incredibly empowering wisdom to everyday life? Well, that's another, which is exactly why we provide you with a fresh serving of soul food for thought 5 days a week to help constantly remind you of what matters most. You are it. And I'm your host, Brandon Beecham. I'm the reflection and extension of you who will be here each Wednesday interviewing a different consciousness changemaker. And on the other 4 weekdays, leading the way to ensure that your perspective is consistently expanded, your vibration is constantly elevated, and your heart is overflowing and full. Also, before we jump into today's episode, I'd like to take about a minute and a half to tell you about a few sponsors that not only help to make it possible to produce this show 5 days a week, but that I'm also genuinely passionate about promoting. The first longtime stellar supporter of the show that I want to mention is Gaia. If you're not familiar, Gaia is the go-to source for streaming consciousness content online with over 8,000 video titles. And you can sign up for your first month for only 99 cents at gaia.com/positivehead. That's spelled GAIA.com/positivehead. The second sponsor I'm sincerely passionate about promoting is Purium. It's no mystery that bringing your mind, body, and spirit into balance is necessary if a person truly intends to manifest the greatest and grandest version of themselves. So if you've been looking for a way to easily get organic superfoods into your system every day with a simple plan that can help you reestablish a healthier foundation and relationship with food, like I was doing before I found Purium, I highly recommend going to positivehead.com/transformation and checking out the videos and interviews there where I dive deeply into discussions explaining why I take these products every day. And should you ultimately end up on iShopPurium.com to purchase any of their 50 plus amazing superfood products, be sure to use the code POSITIVEHEAD, all one word, for a 25% discount. All right, all you positive heads, welcome, welcome. It is a magical Monday here in the studio. So grateful to be with you all, as always. I'm going to talk about playing today, this week, this life. Becoming more childlike. How do we not be so dead serious about your life and just play, as Sadhguru said once upon a time somewhere. And before I jump into that topic, I would like to take a moment to read a review on iTunes. You guys know I love my iTunes reviews. Not only do they help us to reach new people, but also fuel my fire to continue this labor of love. So if you haven't done so, would love it, love it, love it. If you would take a moment like Katie Joy B did, who wrote positive, pleasant, and passionate. Brandon and his incredible, fascinating guests talk about all the things life and self-help, but it's so much more than that. You'll get tons of actionable advice and tangible tips, but you also get heaps of inspiration from truly engaging individuals that genuinely want to help others. Thanks so much for putting out such a spectacular show, Brandon. Keep up the great work. Aw, thank you, Katie Joy B, for taking the time to complete the circle of love that I'm putting out into the world. Means the world to me. And since we're going to talk about being playful and joyous, pretty appropriate that it's Katie Joy that wrote in today, right? So being playful, I saw the quote that I already said, read off here a moment ago, rattled off a moment ago by Sadhguru. Don't be dead serious about your life. It's just a play. And it got me thinking, and I reposted it on the Positive Head Instagram, which is positive_head, by the way, if you're not following us over there. Also makes me think the Positive Heads Facebook group. If you're not there, would love to connect with you in that group as well. But anyway, I shared it in all the places today, and I just kind of wrote to add on to it. Heaven or hell is not a place you go after death. It's the decor and vibe of the home you choose to create in the eternal here and now. Remember to open the windows for some fresh air, splash some colorful paint on the walls, turn on lots of soft glowing light, and definitely remember to turn on some music and dance in your underwear while wearing a ridiculous hat. Then I shared the Bible quote, my favorite, and probably the only Bible quote I quote regularly, Matthew 18:3. Truly, I tell you, unless you change and become like little children, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven. So it's just a play. It's like Journey of Souls, the book we've been reading. I've been reading from time to time. Talks about one of the souls when he crosses on the other side, and he's in a hypnotic state, and the author is kind of questioning, well, what's going on the other side? You just passed over. What are you doing? And he's communicating with his soul family and soul group there. And one of the things that he talked about, one of his subjects, one of his clients, was that, they viewed it, their soul family on the other side viewed this as just a big stage. It's just a play. It's not really meant to be taken so seriously and so heavy. Yes, things happen that are intense, but if we can bring levity to them, we instantly change the mood. We instantly change the vibe. If we can, understand, it's like the story of, and I can't remember where I heard this story, sometime a long time ago, but someone came to a man, and he had an intense dream the night before that his son died. And someone came to the man and said, after the dream, it was super intense, and he was sort of like dealing with the intensity of this dream. And then someone came to him and said, told him in real life, and he'd woken up from the dream, your child has died, your child has passed. And his response was, should I be more sad about hearing this or the dream that I had last night? As in, it's all just variations of a dream. And I know that's like a very intense example. I know, I get it. And I'm not saying that you should be celebrating through every single thing and you're always going to be happy and joyous about it. But if you bring that levity, as much levity as you can to those heavy situations, it is all the difference in shifting, what the experience is like, right? Obviously feel the emotions, allow them to come through, but don't get too caught up on a lot of the mundane things. It's really, there's so many mundane things that we take so serious, and we stop playing. We stop being childlike. Children, think of how children are. There are teachers. George Bernard Shaw said, we don't stop playing because we grow old. We grow old because we stop playing. I always like to say I'm the poster adult for childhood. I've kept a childlike wonder and curiosity and playfulness about me, and it has led to health and happiness and fun and abundance and so much magic in my life. And if I can do it, you can do it. Anyone can do it. It's never too late to have a happy childhood. I saw a quote, and not sure who said this one, but we need play and whimsy in our lives. Hans Zimmer, the great composer, said, the rules are, the more playful we get, the more we can get rid of the rules. That's the rule. Playing is the rule. And I know many of you out there listening, it's easy to let the hardships, we're such sensitive souls. We're such sensitive beings. And it's so simple to allow things to sort of add up over time and strip us of our playfulness. And if you can bring levity to it, understanding that you're an eternal being that's always been and always will be. And if you don't like something, good news, change is guaranteed, right? It's all growth. It's all happening for you. And if you can approach it with that perspective, as we always talk about on the show, and then kind of play your way through it, feel your way through it, find joyful things to focus your attention on, that is the formula. That is the recipe to get rid of all the heaviness. Osho said, just look at life with more playful eyes. Don't be serious. Seriousness becomes like a blindness. Don't pretend to be a thinker, a philosopher. Just simply be a human being. The whole world is showering its joy on you in so many ways. But if you're too serious, you cannot open your heart. We talk about that one a lot, don't we? Opening your heart is everything. having your heart open to explore is everything. It's like the dream that I had actually last week that I think I shared with you on the show. This dream where I was watching and observing my 2 or 3 year old self playing in the leaves in the front yard. And I was tapping into, I was me as I am now. And I was having like this bilocation experience for the first time that I've been reading and hearing a lot about, been bubbling up in my world a lot. And then I had the experience last week in the dream state where I was me, but I was also tapping into me as a 2 or 3 year old, watching all the red, yellow, and gold, orange leaves that were falling in the fall time in Virginia where I grew up. And I was in like my front yard, and this child had so much wonder and amazement. There was so much raw intelligence and purity and innocence that I was feeling, that little me was feeling. And it was so potent and powerful to tap into that. And that little boy is still inside of me. That little boy and girl is still inside of each of you hearing. Some of us have really pushed them down. Others of us have kept it going to some degree, right? Varying degrees. But I encourage you, I am strongly encouraging you to really dig down and tap in to that little boy, to that little girl. Do a meditation to tap into that little boy or little girl. They're there. Their wisdom is there waiting for you to come back around to it. Really, there's 3 things that children are just geniuses at embodying, and that's innocence, imagination, and humor. Think about it. There's such a pure, wonderful innocence there. We get so skeptical and cynical in our judgments about right and wrong and how it should be and what it should be and all of these things, and at the cost of our innocence. Purity, true purity is where the power is. Get rid of all that judgment. Judgment is a testament to ignorance, not truly understanding what's going on and why things are happening the way they are. Expectations are premeditated resentment. Use your imagination. That thing that they told you to stop daydreaming, that was a system that was holding you down, a backward system. How many things have we seen now that are just so backwards that are coming back around? That's one of them. Repressing your imagination, right? Use that. It's your most powerful tool, your humor. Keep it light. The more humor you can inject, the better. Not always appropriate, but most of the time it is. Speaking of humor, I have a very short little story here, or joke that Sadhguru was telling I found on his YouTube page, the Sadhguru Wisdom YouTube page, that since I started with his quote, I think it's appropriate to share his little joke here. Take a listen.
If you want to explore this path playfully, if you want to be playful, you need a heart full of love, a joyful mind, and a vibrant body. Otherwise, there's no leader. A loving heart, a joyful mind, and a vibrant body do you have? Only then there is Leela. If there is no love in your heart, if there is no joy in your mind, you don't know how to be vibrant, then there is no Leela. If we really want to do Leela, and we are doing everything so playfully, some of you may get caught up and lose the whole point. It once happened. 3 bear hunters met. One was a Frenchman, the other was an Englishman. The other was actually Polish because we have an Italian right here, we will make him into an Italian. So they had a few drinks, and the Frenchman took his rifle, went out. Within a few minutes, he dragged a huge bear into the cabin, and others said, "How did you do it? Just in 10 minutes you got back with a bear." The Frenchman said, "I went out, I saw the tracks, followed the tracks, saw the bear, bang, shot the bear, and here I am." Alan, am I right? Am I getting it right? Then Englishman, inspired by this, went out. Within 20 minutes, he also dragged another bear and came. They asked, "You too?" He said, "Yes. I just stepped out, saw the tracks, follow the track, bang, shot the bear, he ran." Then the Italian got inspired by this whole scene and he thought he too could do the bear. And he went out. After 2 hours, he came crawling, totally beaten and broken in every way. He crawled into the cabin. They asked what happened. He said, "I saw the tracks. I followed the tracks and the train came and hit me." So, we are going to be very playful, but we don't want you to miss the point. If we want to do this playfully, if we want to do Leela, as I said, you need a heart full of love, a joyful mind, and a vibrant body.
So the question is, what tracks are you following? What stories are you telling? Right? There's so many alternatives. There's so many different ways you can follow, use your nose to follow and tell a story about something. And that's really the question. What story are you telling? What tracks are you following? You may even follow the bear and follow a wrong track there. And we all know what bears do in the woods, right? Step right in something you don't want to step in. Avoid the train. Avoid the bear's leftovers. Find a track that works perfectly for you. It's going to involve using your imagination, your innocence, your humor, being childlike, being playful. Become like a child, enter heaven. Here's some good news for you. This is Mike Love. He's talking all about this. Enjoy the good news. I've enjoyed today. Until next time, journey well. Love you all so, so much. Also, before we cue up today's song, I wanted to let you all know that we have finally created the Game with the Universe on our website, where you can choose the first number that comes to your mind and it'll pull up that episode number of the podcast. I've been saying this is a great way to co-create synchronicity and magic with your higher self for quite some time by doing this manually. But now if you go to positivehead.com/YO universe, there is a super fun and simple interface to play this game with your higher self. I firmly believe just by setting the intention to play in this way, it opens up the door for magic, and it's a synchronistic way to hone in on nuggets of wisdom out of the huge catalog of episodes that are specifically appropriate for you at this time in your journey to becoming the next greatest and grandest version of yourself. And it also makes for a super fun way to engage and invite friends, family, people on social media to check out the podcast as well. So be sure to check out positivehead.com/YOUNIVERSE and be sure to tell all your friends so they can play a game with the universe, which also helps the show to reach new people, which I greatly appreciate. And as a quick reminder, be sure to also check out positivehead.com/transformation if you're curious to learn more about Purium superfoods and why I take them every day. On this journey of becoming the next greatest and grandest version of ourselves that we have all embarked upon, I can't stress the importance of managing your physical vibration enough. And quite honestly, Purium has put together the simplest plan I've found to do so, and I'm sincerely excited to share it with all of you. Lastly, if you're craving more consciousness elevating content, be sure to check out Gaia, which is my personal go-to source for streaming consciousness content on the web, where you can stream an incredible 7,000 plus exclusive videos covering 5,000 years of wisdom. As you all hear me constantly say, it's a daily conscious effort to maintain an elevated vibration. And if you're looking to journey deep down the rabbit hole to do so, then Gaia is the best place I know of to do it, period. And you can sign up for your first month for only 99 cents at gaia.com/positivehead. That's spelled GAIA.com/positivehead. Check it out.
Rat race to get east from a cup of redemption. Have you ever really gonna know which way to go to let it fall on the people? Are you paying attention? Did they forget to mention? I got another question. Are you ready to move big hands? We're going on the Babylon is falling. Come on, people, we gotta follow the love. If we're gonna reach Zion above. So let's all put down our cell phones and leave the laptops at home. Cause it's been such a long time, so come on inside. I got some good news. I've been singing the blues. Wanna feel the sunshine.